Hello, and welcome to my weekly journal. Again, we are at number 4, and I'm super happy about it. If you are new here, I'm Catalina. I'm the designer behind by Caterina Designs, and I started to make these videos a few weeks before, where I will share with you what I was doing during the week, what are my projects, what I finished, what are my plans for future, and so on. And I decided that today we will start also the Round Yoke project. So every week we will work on something, we will do something about it, we will learn something. I will have, because I saw that Google Forms are working, so I put in the last video one asking you uh, to ask me something, to put some questions there. So in this video I will also answer those questions, and we will use that form to send me questions about the round yoke sweater. And I don't know, maybe I will find a form to be able to um, send me some attachments if you want to send me photos or something about it. I hope that it will work. I was thinking about the Facebook group to make it for this one, but I don't know what is happening with Facebook, because on my mobile I can no longer access in the Facebook app my business page, which is super annoying because I cannot post almost anything there. Well, photos and everything, but if I want to post reels or something else, I cannot do it from because I need that app. I cannot do it from some other different Facebook app that is for business. So I don't know how I will be able to deal with that. But and then maybe I saw that other designers are doing the Ravelry groups, but I'm not used to it, so I don't think I will have time to just start it over and see how it works. And I don't know, we will just start like this, and maybe with this form I will be able to get through your requests or questions about it, and be able to answer you even via email, and of course talking in future videos about your issues or your questions. We will see how it works, and if not, we will just find another solution on the road. And this week, let's just start with this week, because it wasn't so productive. Well, I managed to finish 2 of the projects that I'm working on for the yarn brand. I still have one to go, and then one with a different dyer. Yes, and then I hope that I will have some time to finish some of my own things. I managed to split the yoke for the shining pearl sweater, so I already have the video for the yoke part, but I will wait to finish it and see how it is. And unfortunately I had some mistakes that I found in the pattern, and yeah, there are a few mistakes that or one or two, yeah, 2 mistakes for real, but it's like it's not really difficult to figure it out how it will go. And then with the M size I realized that I could start with the same number of stitches as for the small size, because I started with less stitches just because I had a big amount of stitches on the armpit. This is actually following the same size M as in the pattern. So basically not to have a smaller collar and to be a bigger one, I could have started with the sleeves with the same number of stitches as for the size small. And here I have two versions to add the armpit chain, so I could add less. But it's not wrong, only maybe I will give both for size small, because it will work for size small as well, I think, to have the color smaller if you want. Other projects are still in standby, so I didn't manage to finish any other of the three sweaters that I started. But because I'm super stressed, I just started this one. I show it on my Instagram account. Well, it's not finished. I will still have to add the sleeves. And for this one, it's a round yoke, and for this one I didn't swatch. I wasn't thinking that it will work because I just used a 15mm crochet hook, which I never did with a garment. I think the only time I used it was to make a rug or something. So but it was just okay, I need something fast, I need something quick, I need to see that I'm able to finish something. But of course that I didn't. But sometimes this is how my brain works, and this is how I presented this sweater, because sometimes if I'm really stressed or having so many things ongoing, I'm just, I don't know, I feel like I need to start something new to give me a refresh, to relax. Because with this one I wasn't thinking that it will work, and I said okay, whatever, if it's not working I will just undo everything and start it all over. But I need to do something with my hands, but it doesn't need to be those projects that I have. So I had this yarn from Lang Yarns, which they sent me to test it. It's a new yarn, I think, from the this season collection. It's called Bergen or something like that, and the recommended needle is 6-7 millimeters, so it's like a chunky weight, I think. But the amazing thing about it is that it's super light. So even if the strand of yarn is super thick, but it's super light and airy. And imagine that in this 50 gram of skein, and it's alpaca and polyamide or nylon, I hope that I'm pronounced it correctly. And it's amazing that in 50 grams of the ball has 50 grams and has 120 meters, which is the same length that the 50 grams of decay weight has. So it's amazing, because this means that you will have fluffy, thicker sweaters, but being lighter as if you will use a normal chunky weight yarn. And I only have this one, so I hope that, because I had 4 balls of yarn, so for everything that you can see here I used 3. This means 150 grams of yarn. And now with the last ball I hope that I will manage to do some sleeves over here. And it worked out pretty fast. I'm using half double crochet, and I kind of like it. It doesn't feel too chunky, it doesn't feel too holey, so it's perfect. So I'm really happy that I started this week, because in this way my I don't know, my mood changed a bit. Other things that I was doing this week was study. I'm filming this on Thursday, and tomorrow I have my driving license theory exam. And yeah, it's difficult. What can I say? I hope that I will have a reason to be happy and release a bit of the stress that I had in the last couple of weeks. Saturday is always my husband's birthday and our marriage anniversary, and I hope passing the exam will be a third thing that we can celebrate on Saturday. Okay, last week I told you that I used the form to ask me something and also to pick a winner for the first Jupiter streamline crochet hook, and I do have the winner, and it's Suzanne. And let me start with her question because she had a question over here. Yes, so Suzanne Burke, or Burke, sorry if I'm misspelling your name, but English is my second language, so I cannot do it. Okay, let's see the question. How do you write your patterns to begin a project? I keep a notepad in each project I start now, as to remember what I was doing when I have multiple projects ongoing. I was telling you that I'm not a very organized person, but I'm using okay, if I have a difficult project, I think I made a reel once with this. So I'm using, because I'm using Illustrator for Adobe Illustrator for sketching, and there you can put photos, you can write, you can do anything. So I'm making the sketch with how the shape of it was for the Pride blouse. I think I have it over here somewhere, maybe. I don't know, where is it? Okay, so for the Pride blouse I just sketched the shape, the final shape. I put up the measurements that I needed for each side. I made a gauge and take a photo with a gauge, because maybe that piece of fabric I will lose it somewhere. So just to make sure which was the pattern for the gauge that I used. So I'm putting the notes with the gauge, with the hook size, with the yarn that I use for swatching and so on, and then putting everything there. But along the road, while I'm working, I'm just using the notes in my phone. I'm using an Android phone. I have a Samsung whatever, I don't know if it's important. I think every phone nowadays have it. And I'm using my notes in the phone, and if when I'm working on some project, of course I'm putting there the name of the project, just to make sure that I know what I'm writing about. And if along while I'm working I found something I don't know, tricky, that I need to know, and it will be helpful when I will write the pattern that I'm writing down over there. But I'll be honest that for most of my projects I'm not keeping the notes or something like that, because I kind of and this is for two reasons. One, because maybe it's not such a difficult pattern or something, and two, because lately I started to work like a second sample for the video tutorial. Not always I'm able to make the video while I'm working, even because I'm not sure about, like on this sweater that I will show it again in the same stage. Like for this sweater I just started everything, but now I want to change a bit some things. The pattern is working, it's not this thing, but I want to start with smaller neckline, and maybe to change something into the sleeve, make it less wider here, and start to increase more for the sleeves, and then also for the body. So I need to change a few things, and I will do that while I will work on the video tutorial. And because I'm doing this second time, so it's not like for all my designs I'm doing so. For some of them, I just have the time to just film while I'm working to the original sample, but sometimes I don't. So that's why I prefer to just take it over. For example, I was doing like for a sweater like this, but not for this one. When I'm at the armpit, so after finishing everything of the increasing, I'm filming the second part, because this is not changing, you're just splitting, adding some armpit stitches and so on. But so this is not something that it will be changed, even if I'm changing something on the yoke. So, and then I'm filming only the yoke part and putting everything together. So yeah, what you're doing is a great thing. It's good to have notes for every project that you have. If you find it difficult to do so, anything that works for you, maybe a notebook, so not using the digital thing, only writing down somewhere, because this will be really helpful when writing the pattern, and not to I don't know, check everything, okay, what I did here, why, and have some issues like that. So it's good to have notes for each of your project, even because sometimes if you're not working for a while, it's good to know the hook size that you used, the everything, so be able to take it back and start working on it. So yeah, you can use anything from digital to traditional notes, and I'm using my phone to have these notes because it's always with me, and if something appears in the pattern and I need to write it down, then I'm doing it there. Okay, so Suzanne, congrats for your new crochet hook that you will have. I will send it to you maybe next week. I don't know if I will manage this week, but I will try to. Now we have a question from Debbie McDonald, which is asking me to make the fancy sweater in English, the video tutorial. This sweater has a video tutorial in English. It's an old pattern of mine, and I kind of like it, so maybe if I will have time I will redo it. By the time you are watching this, I already sent you an email, the link with the sweater, so I hope you will enjoy. And of course, if you have any question, you can ask me, preferably on email, but I will try to be active anywhere else. Another Debbie is asking me, when did you start designing your own work? You look so young. Will you design some wrap shorts? Well, I have 36 years old, so I'm not that young, and I started well, I am, and I started in I think in 2017. I started to crochet again, and I started right away. So I wasn't a tester, I wasn't and I have a thing, because some other girls asked me, you know what, I cannot follow a pattern, like each row. I always need to put my own input in it, so every time I'm changing stuff, I'm doing stuff, this is how I was. So I wasn't able to follow a pattern ever, except this year when Annie's catalog asked me to make a reel, and it was a design that already was on their website. So I needed to follow that pattern to make that reel, that short video. And I think it was the first time when I was following a pattern, like from start to finish. Until now, I didn't. I couldn't. I don't know. When I'm reading the first rows, it's like, okay, I need to do it like this. I don't want to do it like this. I don't know. It's difficult to explain this, but yeah. So I started design my work right away. starting with, I think 2018 was the year when I started with the sea breeze cover up, with my precious sweater, I think. So there were great designs up there, but I need to update them all because I grew up as a designer and I see things differently right now. Yeah, but even if I didn't know how to properly write a pattern, I was doing it, and I don't know. I'm glad that it was happening like this, and I learn on the way. And if it will be to turn back in time, I will do it the same. Even if there were so many years, and maybe I could evolve it faster as a designer in the being seen or whatever, it's I don't mind. I was working so hard to make it better, to be able to crochet so many things, that this is the way that I will want to do it next time as well, because it was a great journey. I learned so many things, and I even if it was the hard way, it was the right way. I don't know if it makes sense. Maybe sometimes you find it easier to have everything said by someone with experience. You're okay, you need to do it that, you need to do it that. But my moral in life is that if you don't experience that thing, you cannot learn it. So I don't know. I'm this kind of girl. Okay. Nadezda, I hope I said it right. She's oh, and with the wrap shorts for Debbie, I have wrap pants, again one of my old design, and this summer when I was redesigning, we're remaking the summer top, which became the fern top, and I had the wrap pants, or tie pants are called, in mind as well, but I didn't have time. But anyway, it will be, I think next summer I will have a short pants, wrapped pants, and it will be also a long pants version. So yes, it's on the way. I just wanted to say that I love your designs. They're really beautiful. Thank you for sharing them. I just started my crochet journey and I'm a beginner. Sometimes I can't see very well the stitches you show in the video tutorials because of the speed. Please, if you can, could you show the stitches just one time very slow? Sorry for bothering you. By the way, I'm trying to crochet the lightest sweater design. Thank you once again, and I wish you all the best. Yes, I had this issue, I think a couple of times, because you cannot see the stitches, and I'm trying with every new tutorial to improve my way of explaining stuff and to show the things that I'm doing. So yeah, this is a thing. Maybe in the new tutorials I'm more aware about that, but it might be I'm not bothered by this because I know that I had a problem with it. So I will try with every video to do it better. I'm not doing it on purpose. Sometimes I don't know, I'm simply working under the camera, and maybe it's my way of working, and I'm not thinking that maybe it's not that visible. So yeah, this is a good point, and I will take it into consideration and trying to be more aware about that, and to make it slowly, at least at the beginning, as you said. Stephanie, what fiber do you like best to work with? I think I don't have a fiber that I like to work with. I don't know, but I do like, I think it's because I made my precious sweater in this mix, and I think it's amazing, which is cotton and acrylic mix. And I find it not because of how it's worked, while you're working on, but the fabric, it's lasting in time, so it's not stretchy, it's in the same shape as at the beginning. So I like this combination very much. But I don't know, I like to work with merino as well, but it depends on which type of merino, because I found it that can be different things. Like this, I think Frida is merino, but I don't like those slippery shiny fibers. I don't know why. But yeah, I don't have a particular fiber that I like. I don't know, I like to work with almost everything. I'm okay, except when I don't know, I found some fibers that not that they were itchy, but I think because they were treated with something, I was having a rash on my hand. I don't know exactly which one is it, but yeah, if this is happening, I don't like it. And Carla again. Hi Carla, I don't have a question to ask, only to say that I love your designs and always wondered if you use testers or if you did all the work yourself, but I was just going to ask. Don't be. Thanks for speaking about it, and I hope that you'll get to use a tester group one day. I'd surely sign up. Your videos are so enlightening and it's nice to listen you the voice. Thank you so much, Carla. Yes, about the testers, I told you that I don't know, it wasn't the time. At the time I didn't knew about it, and then, as I said in the last video, I found it really difficult to start over, because I didn't had too much time from finishing a design to the release. Everything was happening super fast, and then when I could slow down and maybe have a tester call like it was supposed to be this season, some other things came up, and now I wasn't able to do it, but I wanted to, and yeah, I wanted to have a tester team. It sounds great to have a team for yourself and helping you, and I think it's a great thing. Okay, these were the questions for today, and I don't want to make this video too long, so we will discuss about the Round Yoke project, and today we will discuss about this one, about choosing yarn and to make the swatch. And then maybe next week we will talk about what to measure, how to measure, and if we will still have time, maybe we will talk about how to calculate the math behind the yoke part, to calculate everything. So I'm choosing this yarn, which is merino extra fine, is cotton merino fine from Katia, and I have this from the Nana blanket project. It was left over, and this is coming in 25 grams per ball, so I hope that I will have enough for the sweater. But if I don't, I have this yarn in purple, pink, and green and white. For the white, I have the second sample of this one, so I'm hoping that I won't need to touch that. And this is yeah, this is size so 3.5 4mm crochet hook, and so is decay, but I think I will use a 4.5mm crochet hook. We will use double crochet stitches So I was telling you that I want to do this as simple as possible, so not that complicated. And after choosing your yarn, you don't need to choose a decay weight as well. I will explain everything so that you will be able to work the sweater with any yarn that you have. You can use any leftovers, make it as colorful as you wish. You can use anything you have. So my concept this season, and I think it was a concept for a long time ago, and as I said it yesterday on Instagram, I'm so happy that now is a trend with sustainable making, using whatever you have. This is my concept this season. So I don't want you to buy yarn. Of course, if you don't have any and you want to participate in this, then you can buy it, but I don't want you to buy new yarn. I want to use anything you have. Doesn't matter if it's different color, different fibers, different thickness, doesn't matter. With different thickness, if it's different weight, try to use the crochet hook that it's recommended for the bigger yarn, and swatch with different rows using your different yarn and see how you will like to place them. But I'm sure it will work, so don't worry. As long as you keep your tension constant, even in thinner yarn and in thicker yarn, you will be able to do it. So just try, give it a try. Don't trust me, just give it a try and swatch with any yarn, type of yarn that you have, and in the end tell me if you like it or not, or if you need to change anything. We will use, so choose any yarn you have, choose any hook size that you feel comfortable to work with that weight. You can swatch many times until you are happy with the result, with the fabric, and then use your stitch. I want it to be a simple stitch, so single crochet, double crochet, half double crochet, but because this will be easier for you to understand the process, because it's a stitch by stitch, it's not like a pattern repeats. But again, I will use double crochet because I found it that it's very used, people are used with it. But you can use triple crochet, you can use half double crochet, but just to not to be a pattern repeat or something. But you can do this even if you want to work it in a different even if in a different stitch pattern. But again, not to use, for example, the moss stitch, it has like a single crochet and a chain in the repeat, and this will change everything. Okay, so it needs to be a simple stitch. And then let's just start swatching. I will turn my camera to show you how to swatch, because we will work in the round, so you will need to swatch in the round to make sure, because you know that when turning in simple stitches, the stitches lay down differently, so it might affect your gauge. It's true that in simple stitches might not be that different into the width, so with the number of stitches, but with the number of rows. Anyway, if you want to swatch flat, is up to you, but I will just show you in the video right away how to swatch in the round, but of course without making many stitches, just to have a flat piece but with the stitches in the round, and without cutting the yarn, because maybe you want to undo that swatch and use it in your project. So let's take a look how we will swatch. Okay, so this will be the yarn that I will use, and this is a decay weight yarn. So the recommended needle is 3.5 millimeters to 4. So I think it's decay or size 3. And now let me show you how we will swatch. So remember that we will work in the round, so we need to swatch in the round because we need to For the stitches, the number of stitches, I don't think it's really important, but for rows it will be important to swatch in the round. So I will show you how to do that. Let's just have some chains. So I decided to use a 4.5mm crochet hook, so a bigger one, because we will work with simple stitches, no holes, and I want to be lighter. So I think we have enough, and now we will start to work the stitches. So now I have this chain 3, which if I wanted to be my first double crochet, then I need to put one more stitch, the 4th, which will be the leg, the stitch in which the double crochet will be. So in this case you will need to start into the 5th stitch. Okay, if you don't want the first chain 3 to count as a double crochet and you want to chain 2 and then have the double crochet into the same stitch, then you will need chain 2 and start into the 3, because this is one single stitch. I will continue like this, but you can choose any method you want. And we will double crochet in each stitch until the end of the round, the row, sorry. Yeah, let's continue. Okay, now we finished the first row, and to swatch in the round we will need to start from the first stitch again. So what I'm doing, I'm letting this loop like this. You can use a stitch marker if you want, and the yarn, I'm taking it like this, getting with the hook, grabbing the yarn to make a loop here. Okay, and now I'm starting over. So we started with chain 2, then I will do a double crochet, and I will continue with double crochets until the end of the row. Okay, so now I am at the end of the row. I want to make sure that this will remain flat to be easy to measure. And now I will go into the last stitch, but I will try to grab the loop as well to make sure that I won't lose it. And then I'm getting the loop and grabbing the yarn, taking into my first stitch. Another method that you can use is simply to make this loop bigger, but in this way you won't have your strand of yarn here. Yeah, so if you thought about it, then this will not work, because we need to have the working yarn in this side. I think there are some other videos that you might check with swatching in the round, especially if you want to follow this along but you're a knitter, because everything I'm telling you right now, it works, or what we will do in this make along, it will work with knitting as well. Okay, so now we will work several rows to have an approximate length of 10 centimeters to be able to count our gauge, or even more, because sometimes you will see that your stitches or your tassel will change if you work more rows. But because we are working with simple stitches, I think it will be enough to have like a swatch like this. Okay, I will finish swatching over here like I showed you, and then of course you will need to write it down and measure your stitches in 10 centimeters per 10 centimeters, so height and width. By the way, Suzanne, I'm not working with your crochet hook, yours is here. I'm just using a smaller size. Okay, and starting with our next session. Of course, if you have any questions, I will let the form again in the description, either if it's to this project related or not. This time the form won't be with your address and phone number. I was only needed those details to ship the crochet hook in case, and not to have everything, all the shipment details, to be able to send it to you. So we will keep swatching, and then after we will finish the swatch, next week we will start to calculate everything, all the stitches that we need. I will show you how to measure everything and how to calculate the number of stitches to start with, how to calculate increases, how to make a beautiful yoke like this that you cannot see the increases. Yeah, so yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. Maybe starting with the next week, or I think I will try to find a form with upload this for this one as well. So if you want to upload your swatch, ask me if it's okay. If it's not, then you can do it. So yeah, I think this was it. I hope that the exam will be perfect tomorrow and I will pass it. And then starting with next week, maybe I will finish the projects that I have, and I will be able to finish what I started, because I'm dying to start to share these patterns and be able to start something else. Yeah, so thank you so much for watching. I hope you learned something today. Even if you don't want to be in this project with us, or even if you don't want to attend right now, maybe you don't have time, remember that these videos will be here forever, and just save them, and when you want to do it, you can do it. Yeah, so yes, this is the thing. I will try to, I hope there are not too many questions about this swatching method, but if there are, I would be happy to answer. And if I found that there's something more complicated, that you will need something more, I will just send you an email, but we will also discuss everything into the next video. So I hope you will have a great time. and great weekend, because I'm hoping that I will publish this on Saturday. And Suzanne, I will just mail that right away. So yeah, that was it. Thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye.